it's not fair to start the case without the notices. So on September 26th, I did conduct another inspection on the property, and it was still the same as the photographs, which are dated 8/12. And the back corner of the property is overgrown with weed, noxious plants, and vines. It was causing damage to the fences and surrounding trees. There's also overgrowth on the north side, which is closer to, I think it's Margarita Terrace as of the north road, and Seminole would be the west road. On September 26th, the repeat violator notice of hearing was mailed. No mail was returned back to our office. I posted the property on September 27th, and on October 2nd, I conducted a re-inspection, and at that time, it was in compliance. So, as stated, it was a repeat violator for sections 8-40 and 8-52 from a period of time of September 26th until it was complied on October 1st. I stated I conducted the re-inspection on the 2nd, but the property owner called in the day before stating we're ready for a re-inspection. So we backdated it to the 1st. So from September 26th to October 1st, it was out of compliance. And I have nothing further at this time.
Does the board have any questions for the city staff?
Was there a fine assessed when the original violation was cited?
It was just established.
Just established?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sir, do you have any questions for just questions of Officer Gasson?
Oh,
If you want, you can go ahead and present your case.
okay. I cut the grass on 23rd, which I guess Monday.
Can you speak into there? Thank you.
I'm sorry? Yeah. On 23rd, I cut the grass, but I didn't know I have to cut that bushes. I didn't know. It's been like this for years. I never get violation for this. So on 23rd, when I cut the grass, my neighbor, he asked me, very nice, can you cut this? I said, okay, when I come back next time, I will cut it because I don't have a saw. So I went home and I got the violation in the mail, in the mail. And I called the city, they told me because this. And I didn't know I have to cut this. I've been there for years. I didn't know has to be cleaned up. So when on October 2nd, I went there and I cleaned it when I received the mail. So I didn't know, that's all. But I know this is still my mistakes.
Does the city have any questions
I don't have any questions, thank
for the
you.
alleged violator? Does the board have any questions for?
When the original citation was made, was that Bush made mention of, or were you citing him for some other issues that are not clear to us?
I don't recall what the original was, but if you notice in the photographs, and I wish I had the presenter, there was still, the last photograph in the packet was from September 27th, and it shows a pile of debris, which is nowhere near the back corner. It's actually the front corner of the property. So regardless of the back corner, he still had other consistent violations with those city codes. So yes, he did mow it, but he left a couple of places where the grass was still very tall, and some debris that was cleaned up. And then once all of that was taken care of, it was in compliance.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Do you have any questions, Officer Gasson?
No.
We'll go ahead and close this public portion of the case and call for discussion. Well, then I call for a motion.
I move based on the testimony, evidence, facts presented in law that the respondent was in violation of sections 8-40, 8-52, and 133.02 of the Tarpon Springs City Code from September 26th until October 1st, and a fine of $25 per day for the 5 days. In addition, I move that the city be awarded $69.50 for the cost incurred in prosecuting the case.
Second?
Second.
First and a second. Bobby, would you do roll call, please?
Mrs. Pelliar?
Yes.
Ms. Norfleet?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mrs. Dabb?
Yes.
Ms. Wade?
Yes.
Mr. Weeks?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Want me to summarize it? Sir, you've been found in violation of the code sections that were cited from September 26th to October the 1st. Code Enforcement Board has fined you as a property owner $25 a day for those days that was in violation. The Code Enforcement Board also authorized and awarded the city its cost of prosecution in the case of $69.50. You'll receive an order in the next 10 days. It'll come in the mail to you. It'll be sent to the address listed at the tax collector's office.
Thank you.
If you have any questions afterwards, you can talk to code enforcement staff after the meeting today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Next case, number 6. It's a repeat violator, 19-800000597, partial 10/27/15, 8/6/8/50/02/80/1701 Mandalay Drive. Miss Irene Miller Estate.
My name is Robert Miller, and I'm the administrator of my grandmother's property on Mandalay.
Thank you. Are you okay with the evidence that Officer Gasson has?
Oh,
being-
yes.
Thank you. Officer Steve Gasson, City of Tarpon Springs Police Department Code Enforcement. The case before the board today is 19-800000597. The property is addressed as 1701 Mandalay Drive, although it is a vacant lot with parcel number 10/27/15, 8685000000280. This is a repeat violator case, and it stems from the prior case of 18-800000391, which was for violation of City Codes 8-40, 8-52, and 133.02. Exhibit number 1 going before the board are all my photographs. Exhibit number 2, all my notices of violation and notice of hearing. Exhibit number 3, administrative documents, case summary, previous board orders, the property appraiser and tax collector records. Exhibit number 4 is the affidavit of posting and a copy of the sign. And exhibit number 5 is an affidavit of prosecution costs. All the photographs and exhibits are given to the violator, exact copies of what's been presented to this board. All my notices are mailed to the property owner record based on the Pinellas County Property Appraiser and Tax Collector databases. All my notice of violations and notice of hearings are sent return receipt as well as first-class mail. And Mr. Chairman, please accept all these exhibits into the record as evidence.
Bobby, when they come down to you, please do so.
Yes, sir.
As I stated, this is a repeat violator case. The initial inspection was on September 6th, and it was complied on October 4th. So September 6th to October 4th was the period of time it was in violation. We have had contact with the representative, the owner of the property, mainly in the office. September 6th, I conducted the initial inspection of the property based on a phone call. The property is overgrown, 30 feet from the right-of-way and 15 feet from adjoining property. There's numerous noxious plants, Brazilian pepper trees, and vines. The repeat violator notice of hearing was mailed on September 6th, and mail was returned signed. On September 27th, I posted the property and signed an affidavit of the posting. On October 4th, I conducted a reinspection and put the property into compliance. Had a couple of phone calls, met with some folks out on the property, showed exactly what's going on with it, and were able to finally bring it back into compliance on October 4th. So it was a violation of city codes 8-40, 8-52, and 13302, the same codes that were originally cited back in 2018. And that's all the city has at this point.
At this time, does the board have any questions for city staff? Do you have any questions for city staff at the present time?
Well, the only problem that he says I don't maintain the property. I pay over $600 a year to have it mowed.
Just questions about what he said
Oh,
at the
no.
present time.
No.
Then I'll get back to you on.
Okay.
Okay, great. All right. You can go ahead and present your case now. You can start where you were starting before.
He states on the paperwork that I don't maintain the property. I pay over $600 a year to have it mowed. And My husband and I mowed it for 32 years and never had a complaint until the neighbor next door said to me, I want to buy your property. And I said, no, I'm sorry, it's not for sale. And that year he called on me, and he's called on me every year since then. And I know for a fact, because I had Joe Renardo, who was the #1 recommended person for cleanup, and I called code enforcement, and they gave me Mr. Renardo's name. He went to the neighbor next door and said, here's my phone number. Please don't call code enforcement. If you have any problems, call me, and I'll take care of it. He laughed in his face and said, I'll call it any time I want. Then Mr. Renardo went and spoke to you and said, what's going on over there is not right. And what happened to Mr. Renardo? He was taken off the list, and he never received another recommendation from the city of Tarpon Springs. Even though he was an employee and was the street sweeper, he took him off the referral list. I feel sorry for the man. Now, Mr. Renardo was sick and passed away, and I have a new group of guys that are doing it. The only thing he told me that he told them exactly what to do, but evidently they weren't following it. But I have a new guys, and now they know exactly what's supposed to be done, and hopefully they'll do it. It's not that I'm not trying to do it, I'm trying to. And I'll tell you another example. He didn't have anything to call, okay? So he cleaned out his whole yard and walked over and threw the trash into my lot right over the fence. He came and inspected it and said, that's fine, I'll put her up for violation. But everything that was in that pile, hibiscus, Queen Anne, fig, that was all in his yard. I don't have them in my yard, but I got called on that too, and I had to take care of it. Now he sends me a letter, and he states that I have noxious weeds, I have vines, and grass, okay, is overgrown. I get the letter on the 13th. It's a Wednesday. I called my guys. They said they would go out Thursday. They went out Thursday and did it. I called him Friday. He went and inspected it Monday, and he said, oh no, this isn't good enough. You have to have 30 feet from the road, you have to have 15 feet on the lot, you have to have the debris. Well, that should have been stated. So then they called and said, we want you to have the guys go out to the property so we can tell them exactly what they want. Now, the first time was 190. The second time was $265. The third time was $355. Now, that could have all been taken care of in one trip if he would have stated what he wanted to have done, but he didn't. That's it.
I appreciate your continued interest in keeping the
Hey,
property up.
for years.
The board understands that it's difficult, especially in the summertime, but it is your responsibility.
Yes, I know, and now that I said I have a lawn service of 2 men, and they know exactly what has to be done. But we'll see. I'll be called again next year, I'm sure.
Okay, we're going to close the public portion of this case. Oh, did you have any questions?
No, I'm good, thank you.
I did.
I'm sorry. I missed that part all the time. Go ahead.
Ms. Miller, do you live in town?
No, because the man was so mean, I never built my retirement home there. I couldn't, because he was so ugly to me.
So you don't live?
So I don't live in the area. Otherwise, yeah, I would be, like today now, we drove 160 miles to come here for this.
Wow. Now, do you have any questions?
One really quick. Ma'am, you did state you received a notice from my office, correct?
Of course.
Okay. That notice stated that you need to cut back 30 feet from the right-of-way and 15 feet from the adjoining property because it's part of the violation code.
I could show you exactly what you said right
Because my
here.
notes state that, still not cut back 30 feet from western front side. The other thing is too, have you been out to the property?
Not today, I came
Okay,
right
so
here.
you have no idea what's been done to it, correct?
Well, I spoke to my lawn guys and you inspected it
Do
and
you
you
have
passed
any
it.
idea what's been done to it?
No,
Okay. Then I have no further questions.
Okay. Now, close the public portion and go ahead and entertain a motion.
I move based on the testimony, evidence, facts presented in law that the respondent was in violation of sections 8-40, 8-52, 133.02 of the Tarpon Springs Code from September 6th to October 4th, and a fine of, let's see, the previous fine was $20 per day, so this fine is $40 per day for, I believe that's 28 days. In addition, I'm going to move that the city be awarded $69.50 for the costs it incurred in prosecuting the case.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Roll call, Bobby?
Mrs. Telliar,
Yes.
Ms. Norfleet,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mrs. Dabb,
Yes.
Mr. Wade, Ms. Wade,
Yes.
and Mr. Weeks.
Yes.
Roll call.
Yeah, sure. So, Mrs. Miller, the Code Enforcement Board has found the property owner to be in violation of the three code sections that were cited, 8-40, 8-52, and 133.02. Found the property in violation from September the 6th until October the 4th and assessed a $40 per day fine. The city was also awarded its cost of prosecution in the case of $69.50. An order will be entered and sent to the property owner at the address listed with the tax collector. That'll happen in approximately 10 days. If you have any questions about what has happened today, please feel free to call code enforcement after the meeting.
Would the code
May-
for,
Oh, I'm sorry, may I ask a question? Why am I being fined from the day he was out there if I had no idea?
Because under the law, and under Florida Statute Chapter 162, you're deemed to be a repeat violator because you have been in violation before. And under the statute and under the city's code, if you've been found in violation before, the fine can be retroactively applied to the date of the inspection. And that's the reason why. It'll happen again next time if the property goes into violation again too, it'll be from the date of the inspection. So he has testified under oath today that he inspected the property on September the 6th. That's the reason why it started on that date. Okay.
because there was made notice of the city recommending someone, I think the city should make a comment about that. I don't think that's the policy. I don't think the city usually refers
No, it's a repeat. I didn't have anything in the prior case.
about recommending.
Oh, we don't recommend anybody. I never did.
That's what I wanted to make sure was on the record.
When I took over, he contacted me and said he was taking care of the lawn service. I know generally in my office, I don't allow the practice of recommending anybody for anything.
That's
And
what I
typically
wanted to
within the
have on the
city,
record.
that's somewhat frowned upon to recommend a vendor. And so I can tell you, I've never done it,
Thank you.
so.
No, ma'am, the case
No,
is
ma'am.
done. Yeah, thank you.
Number 7, a repeat violator, 19-800000659, 520 East Lime Street Development and Trust 2. Hi, sir. Can I get your name and your relationship to the property?
My name is Michael Shimshoni, and I'm the broker at Affordable Realty. We with the property that manage the owner's other properties, this one as well.
To your management
Yes.
system, company.
Yes, sir.
Right. Yes, do you have any problem with the city's exhibits going into record?
No, no, sir.
Thank you. City
Thank you.
can present their...
Officer Steve Gasson, City of Tarpon Springs Police Department, Code Enforcement. The case before the board is case 19-800000659. It's a repeat violator case stemming from case number 18-800000560, which was at the time violations of sections 8-40, 8-52, 8-22, and 36.03. At that time, a fine was assessed of $50 per day, but they came into compliance before any fines were accrued, and they did pay their prosecution costs. The address is 520 East Lime Street, although it is a vacant lot. The parcel number is 1327154663003090. All the exhibit number 1 are my photographs. Exhibit number 2, my notice of violation, notice of hearings. Exhibit number 3, administrative documents, case summary, previous board orders, property appraiser and tax collector records. Exhibit number 4 is the affidavit of posting and a copy of the sign. And exhibit number 5 is the affidavit of prosecution costs. All my photographs and exhibits are given to the violator, exact copies of what's presented to this board. All notices were mailed to the property owner of record as determined by the Pinellas County Property Appraiser and Tax Collector databases. And all notice of violations and notice of hearing are sent, return receipt requested, as well as first-class mail. And Mr. Chairman, please accept these exhibits into the record as evidence.
Bobby, please do so when it gets down to you.
Thank you. We did have contact with the owner, an office employee named Diane Hill. The initial inspection was on September 16th, 2019. I was inspecting the neighboring property to the east of 518 East Lime Street, and I observed that this lot was grossly overgrown, well over 12 inches. On September 16th of 2019, the repeat violator notice of hearing was mailed. The green cards were signed by both the property owner and the registered agent. September 27th, I posted the property and signed the affidavit of posting. The property did come into compliance on September 23rd, so the case stemmed from September 16th until September 23rd for violations of City Code 8-40 and 8-52. And at this time, Mr. Chairman, I have nothing further.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions for Officer Gasson? Sir, do you have any questions for Officer Gasson? Just questions.
The only question I have is that why didn't he call the office to let us know there's a problem? The moment we got a phone call from Vegas, the same day we went and got it in compliance, and nobody called us from the city of Tarpon Springs. Now, I know that he doesn't have to call us, I'm aware of it. But it would be nice, you know, we dealt with him in the past, and I think we established fairly good rapport. The last time that we had back last year, we did well and above what he asked us to do. We put gate to prevent an additional fencing on the front to prevent people from dumping materials there. The property next door has been a nuisance for a while, so, you know, there was issues of them throwing stuff to this property, and that's probably happened there too. And we signed a contract with the company to come and maintain the property on a regular monthly basis. And obviously, the last few months were not done properly. We're gonna hire another company to do the job, and hopefully they'll do a better job in keeping up with it. That's all I can say.
Does the board have any questions of the representative?
He had a question for Officer Gasson, and the question was, why didn't you call him?
Well, you kind of stated it. One, we're not required to by law. Two, you were here previously in 2018 when you were established as a repeat violator. So the onus is on you to take care of your property. Similar to the other two people that were here before you, they're in the same situation. It's not our responsibility to be your lawn maintenance company. It's your responsibility to take care of your property. And then state statute says that we basically start to provide the legal notices. I'm sure everybody would love a phone call from us before we take any enforcement action. Unfortunately, I probably have to have a significantly larger staff to do that. So this is how we handle it, and you were made aware at the last code board hearing that you're kind of on notice, for lack of a better term, for the next 5 years to take care of the property.
And we have been taking care of it.
Clearly.
It just that, you know, the last couple of months, I guess, the grass goes fairly quick. It's this time of year. But, you know, we kept up with it up to this point. I mean, there was no complaints or issues. The place was cut on a regular basis. Again, I think at one phone, instead of, it take you more time to write notices than pick up the phone and say, hey, listen, you got a problem. You know Diane on a first name base. You could, of course, say, Diane, you got an issue with the property, and see how quick we react. And we react quick. You know, the moment I know there's a problem, I take care of it. But I wasn't aware of the problem. And it took you had to fill up all the records and pictures and send the stuff to Vegas. Now, I know you guys make money out of this, but I think it's only courtesy call, I think would be a nice thing to do. I mean, it's not, again, it's not something I can force you to do, but I think it would save time and money, obviously, to us. If we just make a one phone call, 10 seconds, that's all, from the side. I don't see why you can't do that.
You want to summarize the case?
I don't have anything to say, thank you.
We're going to close the public portion of the case and tell the audience. It's now closed and the board can discuss anything that they want to in reference to this case. Question? Okay, so I'll entertain a motion.
I move that, based on the testimony, evidence, and facts presented in law, the respondent was in violation of sections 8-40 and 8-52 of the Tarpon Springs Code from the dates of 9/16 to 9/23, and a fine of $25 a day, $50 per day. In addition, I move that the city be awarded the $93 in prosecution costs for the case.
Second.
Bobby, roll call, please.
Tellier? Yes. Ms. Norfleet?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mrs. Dabb?
Yes.
Ms. Wade?
Yes.
Mr. Weeks?
Yes.
Here.
Sir, the property owner has been found in violation of the code sections that were cited from September the 16th to September the 23rd. The Code Enforcement Board assessed a $50 a day fine and also awarded the city $93 in prosecution costs. An order will be entered within the next 10 days. It'll be sent to the property owner listed by the tax collector's office. If you have any questions, you can talk to the Code Enforcement Department after the meeting. Okay.
Affidavits of non-compliance. Number 8, 18-800000869.
Move we accept that affidavit of non-compliance.
Before we do that, I just want to, is there anybody here in the audience for this case? 707 Chesapeake Drive. Thank you. So there's been a motion made.
Okay, motion made.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. 19-800000511, 418 South Levi Street, Avenue.
Anyone here on that case? Okay, do you want to step down here? Yep.
I don't think they were sworn in.
Okay, I'm going to swear him in. Did you want to say something to the board today? Oh, okay. I apologize. I thought you wanted to say something. Okay. Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I move we accept that affidavit of non-compliance.
And second, please.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Same sign. No? Nay?
Do we need to include the costs? Oh, that's the
Oh,
next.
I'm sorry, and I'm-
No, that's the next
last
one.
There isn't
I'm
on
sorry.
that one, there isn't one on
I'm
that.
sorry.
Number 10, 19-800000439, 649 Kenneth Way.
I move we accept the affidavit of non-compliance in that case and award the city $127.50 in prosecution costs.
Is there anyone here in this case? 649 Kenneth Way. Okay, thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Same sign, opposed? Motion carries. Affidavits of compliance. 19-8000077, 1306 Crossbow Lane.
I move we accept that affidavit of compliance.
Second, please.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Number 12, 8,
What are these?
number 12, 18-800000491, 42501 US Highway 19 North.
I move we accept that affidavit of compliance and award the city $166 in prosecution costs.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 19-8000204, 1431 Watermill Court, or Circle, I'm sorry.
I move we accept that affidavit of compliance and award the city $142 in prosecution costs.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 14, 19-800000435, 1313 Gulfview Woods Lane.
I move we accept the affidavit of compliance in that case and award the city $113 in prosecution costs.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 15, 19-800000462, 1711 Stonehaven Way.
I move we approve the affidavit of compliance in that case and award the city $119.50 in prosecution costs.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Old business.
I think that's the last.
Number 16 is a fine reduction request, 15-2000006, 40839 US Highway 19 North, Lake Tarpon Church of Christ. Would you state your name, sir, and your relationship to the property?
I'm John Montagna, and I'm representing the church.
Okay. Ask the board if they've had the opportunity to read the petition.
Bobby, can you tell us what the dollar amount of the fine is?
$3,450.
$50, 50?
8,000.
$3,450.
Okay.
Sorry.
Will you once again read the law on reduction of fines, please?
Yes, I'll read the rule of procedure that you have adopted. Rule of procedure is Rule 5, Section 4. It's been in existence since the 1980s, I think. I'm going to read it word for word. After a fine has been imposed by the board and within 60 days after the violation is brought into compliance, a violator may petition for reconsideration of a fine. The petition must be in writing, signed by the violator, and include a copy of the affidavit of compliance executed by the code inspector. The petition must show conclusive evidence showing extreme or undue hardship in the payment of the fine or preventing the violator from coming into compliance within a time period established by the board's order. The board secretary shall schedule the petition to be considered, and the board shall make its determination based solely upon the written petition. The board may request information from the code inspector. The board's secretary shall notify the violator by regular mail of the determination made by the board. No petition for the reduction of fine will be considered prior to the board's acceptance of an affidavit of compliance. Under no circumstances may the amount of the fine be reduced below the costs of the action. Under no circumstances may the amount of the fine be reduced once a foreclosure action is instituted. Additionally, under no circumstances may the amount of the fine for a repeat violation be reduced. That was a reading of Rule 5, Section 4 of your Rules of Procedure.
Can you reiterate the dates I wasn't sure that they complied with the fine reduction request date.
Oh, yeah, it's a long one. The city's code case started out in 2015. November 18th of 2015. This board's order for compliance was almost 3 years to the date, November 8th of 2018. The date of the code board compliance deadline was February 6th of 2019. The date of compliance by the owner was June 25th of 2019. And the affidavit of compliance was accepted by this board on August 8th of 2019. Does that answer your question?
I move that the board vote not to accept the fine reduction request.
Discussion?
We need a second. Was there a second?
Second. Discussion? Bobby, would you make a roll call, please?
Ms. Pelliar,
Yes.
Ms. Norfleet,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer,
No.
Mrs. Dabb,
No.
Ms. Wade,
Yes?
Mr. Weeks.
Yes.
Motion carried.
The petition has been denied, sir.
Okay. Old business number 17, fine reduction request 19-800000077, 1306 Crossbow Lane.
Bobby, can you tell us the dollar amount of the fine?
$1,114.
Thank you.
Hi, could you please let us know who you are and your relationship to the property, please?
My name is Margaret Carmichael. I'm the owner of the property.
And I am Michael C. Sunderman. I'm the son-in-law.
Thanks.
Were you both sworn under oath?
Yes.
Ma'am, you need to raise your right hand. I'm going to swear you under oath. You did not raise your hand and you did not stand up. If you're going to testify, I need you to raise your right hand.
I really have nothing to say. I was
Okay,
going to let
okay.
him.
No
let
more
him
than,
go.
no more than, okay.
Okay. The board had the opportunity to read the petition. I'm ready to entertain a motion.
I move that the city decline to remove or reduce the fine.
I need a second.
Second.
Discussion? No discussion. Bobby, would you call the roll?
Mrs. Pelliar,
Yes.
No, that was Mrs. Tellier.
I'm sorry.
no. Ms. Norfleet,
No.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mrs. Dabb,
No.
Ms. Wade,
Yes.
Mr. Weeks.
Yes.
4-3, it passes.
Motion carried. The petition for reduction of fine has been denied.
Thank you for coming. Number 18 is a petition for rehearing. It's a repeat violator, 19-800000484, 385 Whitcomb Boulevard, Harry and Anna Estes.
Vassilides?
Vassilides. Okay. No, but he's not here for that, and let's go ahead and read the petition if you have it in front of you. And as soon as you have, go ahead and I'll entertain a motion.
I move that in case 19-800000484, the petition for rehearing is denied.
Second.
Bobby, roll call?
Ms. Telliar,
Yes.
Mrs. Norfleet,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mrs. Dabbs,
Yes.
Mrs. Wade,
Yes.
Mr. Weed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Request to authorize foreclosure 17-8000538/10-200000096, 1315 East Boyer Street.
And Mr. Chairman, I have a note for the record. On page 2 of the memo submitted for the authorization to the code board to commence foreclosure on the liens, on the second page, I had a typographical error. It says Code Enforcement Board lien. It should be plural for both liens. So we are requesting both.
Repeat that, please.
On page 2 of the memo submitted to the board, the second sentence about in the middle, it says the above referenced code board lien. It should state Code Enforcement Board liens. I just wanted to make sure it was on the record that we're requesting foreclosure on both of those liens, not singularly.
Thank you. I move that the city move forward toward foreclosing on the property.
Need a second?
Second.
Discussion? Bobby, roll call, please.
Mrs. Telliar,
Yes.
Ms. Norfleet,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mrs. Dabbs,
Yes.
Ms. Wade,
Yes.
Mr. Weed.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. I have approval of the minutes, August and September.
I move that we approve the minutes for both August and September.
A second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Excuse me, who was the second? I apologize.
Down there.
Ms. Telliar, there you go. Sorry, thank you.
Okay. Public comments. Anybody want to make a public comment? Don't see anybody. Board and staff comments.
I have none. Other than to note it's 10 till 3. Notice that.
I didn't expect that, yeah.
On these foreclosures that we do, we recommend.
Yes, sir.
I've noticed that the properties still are present and much more.
Well, I think Mr. Trask can probably enlighten us a little bit. It's a slow process. Once it moves through this, it goes to the Board of Commissioners, and then it gets embroiled in the court system. And depending on property owners' challenging aspects of it and things like that, primarily, if you guys have noticed, the city's thrust to foreclose on these properties are ones that are severely distressed. Those are primarily the ones that we're seeking foreclosure on. It makes it easier for the city to manage that property. In most of those cases, it's demolish them, and then what happens after that. But we're experiencing one that's probably at least a year in from the time Mr. Trask has filed the initial court paperwork. It's just a slow process. So you will see results. You're going to see some significant ones, and probably 2020 you'll see some of these taken care of that we've approved of about a year ago. So.
Right.
And I don't know if I'm correct on that. I think I am. I'm unfortunately learning a little bit more about this process than I needed to.
Okay. We are adjourned. 10 minutes to 3.
Whoa.
What is this, 2 years ago?
We went from 6
I just changed it.
o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Yeah.